Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center in Calgary, and I'm here today with a really interesting piece of pre-owned inventory. This one is a 2000 911 Carrera. Now, we don't see this vintage too often, and this one's quite unique. So being a 2000, that means it's a 996 generation 911. Now, when this car first came out, it was pretty revolutionary for Porsche. It was the first 911 that was water-cooled, so that was big news by itself. Stylistically, it made a few changes, headlights being the most noticeable. They weren't the traditional round-shaped headlights. They were a little bit differently shaped, and a lot of purists weren't so sure about that. And on the interior, too, if you look at the generation that preceded it, the 993, versus this 996, it looks, you know, space age, such a huge step forward. So yeah, when it came out, it wasn't for everybody, but this is a car that over the last couple of years, we've really seen the value starting to tick up. Now, I don't think it's a car that's kind of topped out, and I don't know if I want to buy that one because it's at the top of its value. I think this one's just starting to trend that way. So I think these are, right now, honestly, they're the only quote-unquote cheap 911 that you can buy. Just about everything is appreciated to the point that it's, you know, quite expensive. These ones are still quite reasonable, and I think they're a performance bargain because they were underappreciated when they came out. So that value's been slower to tick back up again, but it's definitely heading that way. So for 2000, they used a 3.4 liter naturally aspirated flat 6-cylinder engine. It produced just shy of 300 horsepower. This example is rear-wheel drive and has a manual transmission, so a really phenomenal driver's car. There's not a whole lot of, you know, high-tech complexities to it. It's just, you know, get in, drive, have fun. And then, of course, the color really pops with this one. This is Zenith blue, which you almost never see. I haven't seen another example in years, which makes it particularly cool because, as I'm sure a lot of you know out there, the Disney Pixar film Cars, there was there's a character in that called Sally Carrera, and of course designed to look like what was the current generation 911 at the time, the 996 Carrera, just like this one, and she was effectively Zenith blue. So really cool if you're, you know, a fan of those movies or just kind of car culture. This is kind of iconic to have this generation in this color. Really neat, and it's a car that's been quite well taken care of. We just recently, of course, bought it in, but if I can just reference my sheet here. Just before we bought it, it had its major service completed, so that was in February of 2022. So maintenance is, of course, all up to date. You have 8 millimeters of brake remaining on both the front and the rear. When we took it in, we did replace the tires and a couple of other just little switches that weren't at 100%. So we replaced that stuff as well. So it's in quite good condition now. You shouldn't have to do anything to it. Has about 95,000 kilometers on it, so not bad mileage at all for the year. Not a whole lot of options, as I said. The interior is the graphite gray manual transmission. There were, you know, still a decent amount of standard equipment. You know, features optioned at the time, so all that stuff is obviously here. And then you've got your 3-spoke steering wheel was optioned on this one, and then the upgraded sound system. However, previous owner upgraded the sound system beyond that. Now, generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of modifying Porsches. They come super, obviously from factory, the performance is very high. Tweaking them often makes them worse, to be honest. It might improve your horsepower number, but as a total package, it's not always better. However, upgrading the sound package, not a bad idea. Honestly, the sound systems in these, the factory ones, weren't that great. And some people will argue on a sports car, do you really need that? And I think that was kind of Porsche's philosophy as well. But the modern ones are much better. And this one just has, you know, a bit of an upgrade over what was factory, which I think is not such a bad thing in this case. So I think that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say about this generation of, or this specific model of 911 that we have here. But again, it's a great example, looks really great, has all the service history done, and I think it's underappreciated right now. It's a car you can buy for a very reasonable dollar, kind of get into that Porsche world, start having fun. So if you do like the car, if you enjoyed the video, do come down, pay us a visit. We're not sure at this point. This one may be in the showroom or it may be outside to take a look in the sunlight. But yeah, if you're interested, give us a call or do pay us a visit. Thanks so much for watching.